Hello, everyone, and welcome to our roundup of the opening match day of the 2025-26 UEFA Champions League. It's been a thrilling start to the league phase with big clashes, shocking results, and some outstanding individual performances. Let's dive into the most hyped matches, the tactical battles, and the players who stole the spotlight. One of the biggest fixtures of the week was Bayern Munich hosting Chelsea in a heavyweight clash. Bayern showed their dominance with a 3-1 victory, and once again, it was Harry Kane at the heart of everything. He scored twice, showing both his penalty box instincts and his link-up play. From a tactical perspective, Bayern pressed Chelsea aggressively in midfield, forcing turnovers and feeding Kane and Musiala quickly. Chelsea tried to counter with their pace out wide, but Bayern's backline, marshaled by Mateo
Upamecano,
kept them under control. This result sends a clear message. Bayern are serious contenders once again. Next up, the drama at Anfield. Liverpool versus Atletico never disappoints, and this time we got a 5-goal thriller. Liverpool edged it 3-2, with Virgil van Dijk scoring a late winner in front of the Kop. Tactically, it was fascinating. Atletico played their trademark compact defensive game, but Liverpool's fullbacks kept stretching the pitch, creating gaps, while Salah's movement pulled defenders all over the place. But the real story was Van Dijk, not just defensively solid, but stepping up in the big moment with that decisive goal.
At the Santiago Bernabeu, the 15-time Champions League kings were tested. Real Madrid went ahead through Kylian Mbappe, who buried 2 ice-cold penalties. But in the 72nd minute, Dani Carvajal saw red, leaving Madrid with 10 men for the final stretch. Marseille pushed and played, but Los Blancos held firm. Final score? Real Madrid 2, Marseille 1. The holders showing once again why the Champions League is their kingdom.
Over at the Etihad, Manchester City started their campaign in typical fashion, calm, controlled, and ruthless. They beat Napoli 2-0 with Erling Haaland once again on the scoresheet. City dominated possession, as you'd expect. Guardiola's side built up patiently, pulling Napoli side to side until the space opened. The standout performer was not just Haaland, but also Phil Foden, who constantly found pockets between Napoli's midfield and defense. Napoli tried to hit back on the counter, but City's defensive structure was just too solid. One of the most anticipated fixtures was at St. James Park, where Newcastle hosted Barcelona. The atmosphere was electric, but Barcelona won 2-1 thanks to Marcus Rashford, who scored twice on his Champions League debut for Barca. Barcelona combined possession with direct runs, using Rashford's pace to stretch Newcastle's defense. Newcastle pressed with energy, but in the end, Barcelona's big game players got the job done. The takeaway: Rashford looks like he was born to play in this system. And then there was the wildest game of the week, Juventus versus Dortmund. It finished 4-4, pure chaos from start to finish. Juventus leaned on Vlahovic's power up front, while Dortmund's youngsters, especially Adeyemi, tore through Juve's backline. Neither defense could cope, and both managers will have plenty to fix. For the neutrals, though, this was Champions League football at its most entertaining. So what have we learned from Matchday 1? Bayern and City looked dominant, Liverpool and Barcelona delivered statement wins, and Juventus versus Dortmund reminded us why this competition is the most exciting in the world. If this is just the first week, the rest of the season is going to be absolutely unforgettable. Subscribe for more updates.